So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to pass out one of these flyers. This flyer is actually on the owner of the company of KKW. The reason why I'm passing out this flyer, because I did bring a truck, and he signed them on the top of the truck. So we didn't want to just give out a truck, and you guys like, who is this signed the truck? It's just an owner from a trucking company. He's actually a race car driver as well. So here's some detail on Mr. Firestone, who started in the industry in 1965. He started out driving a 1951 Chevy Bobtail. So pretty amazing. We're going to basically talk to you guys about the trucking industry. We're not here to hire you guys. We're just here to motivate you, to let you know you're doing the right thing. We are truck drivers. I'm not just somebody that's in here talking about the industry that don't know what I'm talking about. I do need some participation.
Who are you? Did you even introduce yourself, sir?
Oh, okay. So we're going to wait for Mr. Dein, the rest of the students. Okay.
Oh, okay, sorry. But intros. I'm Bonnie. I'm a truck driver for KKW Trucking. I do have all my endorsements. I'm also now a recruiter. So we are here to talk to you guys about it. You guys have the opportunity of a lifetime. I wish we had this in my high school. So we want to just make sure.
We don't want to talk too much, Bonnie, because then we're going to end up saying it again.
Okay, okay.
Right now, I guess I'll sing to him.
Oh, please.
Okay, that's fine. That's perfect.
Alright, so next time, what happens? We've got KKW here today for a presentation. I'll tell you what, out of all the presentations I've seen so far, this has been the best one so far. I watched them over here earlier. Really interactive, a lot of fun, prizes they're giving away. Please pay attention, okay? Couple things. Number one, you guys get away with a lot of stuff this week. Okay? We're supposed to already been through our presentations. We're going to start those first thing Monday morning. Alright? So we're going to be, Mr. G going to be chill today. Is that cool? Yeah. Alright. Second thing is, make sure your resumes are done come Monday too. Remember? Who remembers resumes? Nobody. One. You better look at your Google calendar. Do it today. Oh, cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will now turn it over to KKW. Ladies and gentlemen, all yours.
Thank you, sir. Mr. G, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, Mr. G. What's a little background on yourself? What made you get into teaching? What's going on here?
I took the class back in high school, logistics and warehousing class back in high school. I had an English teacher that was my teacher. Not a very good teacher, but as far as logistics portion of it. So I got in the industry, I've been there for 25 years. Turned around, the position opened up, I took it. Been teaching for the last 9 years.
Great.
Love it.
Thank you, sir.
This is my career.
Thank you, sir.
That's right.
I love it.
And that's what we all about. We about careers and not a job. Do anybody, let's start out with careers and jobs in this one. Anybody in here know what the difference between...
we didn't introduce
Okay, go
ourselves.
ahead. I'm sorry.
Who are you?
I'm Eddie Ingram.
Oh, hi, Ingram. What do you do? Why are you here?
All right, hi everybody. My name is Eddie Ingram. I'm from KKW Trucking. I am now the recruiting manager, but I started out at KKW 4 years ago as a driver. I've done over-the-road driving. I've done local driving. I actually pull a Rose Bowl float every year for Cal Poly to the Pasadena so it can get pulled in a parade. I still do that. And now I'm happy I can be here to educate you guys. What got me into trucking is I was tired of dealing with people. I wanted to have a job where I didn't have to deal with anybody and I could just be by myself. I didn't want to be around people. I was just like fed up with dealing with people because I've been doing it all my life. So I needed a break. But I actually enjoyed it. I always said when I was younger that I could drive a truck and I would drive a truck. And then opportunity presented itself. When I went to KKW, I told them I was only going to do it for 1 year. And I've been here 4 years just because I appreciate the company. I appreciate how they
How
treat the
old were you when
drivers.
you started driving?
I was 31 years old when I started driving. I wish I would have did it earlier. I wish I would have did it at 18 or 21 because I would probably be rich right now because I wouldn't have any bills. If you are thinking about taking up driving, do it early in your early years because you don't have any bills. All you need is a cell phone bill. We got a lot of drivers who live on the truck. And I do know it's some logistics people in here. We're all needed. This industry, this world would not move without us. We work as a team, we work hand in hand, so it's a lot of opportunity in this field.
What's the best part of trucking for you?
The best part of trucking to me is not having somebody micromanage me. I like not being micromanaged. I'm my own boss, and that's being a company driver. Imagine if I would have went and turned into an owner-operator. I really wouldn't have had any bosses. But as being a company driver, you really don't have anybody micromanaging.
What's the worst part?
The worst part of trucking is when you're doing over-the-road trucking is being away from your family. It can be really, really hard being away from your family. If you have started a family, you know, you're missing all of those barbecues. For Christmas, we're out playing Santa Claus. Black Friday, we're delivering gifts, so things that can be sold. So you're really, really out there on the road a lot, so that's the worst part to me.
So I want everybody to make sure that you write your name on those raffle tickets, okay? Who didn't get a raffle ticket? Anybody else? Just one? Just you?
I do.
Okay, I'm Bonnie. Hello. I am also a truck driver. This is my second career. I was a journalist. I'm still a writer. I walk around all day, walking around KKW, editing people's papers and stuff. So, just so that you know, guys, what got me into trucking? Being a journalist, especially I was on an investigative beat. I wanted to change. Like sometimes it's just really depressing in Chicago, and all you're writing about is like really horrific things. But you want to do something that, you know, you feel like you matter. Like it's still a really good career to go into. Plus, I wanted to get paid and see the world, so I just decided to do it at the same time. So I like that. But why KKW? I wish I would have came to them in the beginning. Whatever. And the reason why I say that is because I was a team driver for a company called CRST. And I was on the truck with my co-driver, and we're rolling along, and you know, it's my turn to go into the sleeper. Well, when I go into the sleeper, I hear something that kind of sounds like a wooden board hitting the floor. But when we get to the terminal and I pulled the curtain back, there was glass everywhere. They shot at us, okay? And there were 2 holes right by Steven's face because he used the truck to intimidate people. He would get really close to cars and just like stop. And I literally left and I flew out that night. And I was like, I don't know if I ever want to do this anymore. And then I came to KKW. And I wasn't just a truck number. I was Bonnie. Like, it was the craziest thing ever. And Eddie, he was my orientation facilitator. Now, I'm driving to Salt Lake City, and I get a phone call from the operations manager and Eddie, and they asked me if I wanted to come in and be a recruiter. And I said, I would love to do that. And I'm happy that I did that, because now I can talk to people that went through what I went through. And I can show them, you don't have to quit. It doesn't have to stop there because you've had a bad experience. So it is the coolest thing. I think the best part of trucking is the adventure. It is so much to see. I started off driving the 48 states. So I went like almost everywhere. And then I moved over to the 11 western states, and it was even more to see over there. And I would say I think the worst part of trucking is the reputation that we have. Truck drivers are labeled, they think we're this, they think we're that, they think we look a certain way, act a certain way, dress a certain way, carry ourselves a certain way. We are amazing. I don't know about any of you guys, but I love Amazon Prime, and I want my stuff delivered on time. Right? And that's just something you don't think about, because you're just like, it's supposed to get here. Just why isn't it here? Right? But now you're like, oh, I need to be on time. You know, people are relying on me. It's bigger than me. And when you know that you're part of an organization or something that's bigger than you, you feel included all the time. You just feel included all the time. You don't want to be seen as a female truck driver, right? A young truck driver. A truck driver, that is what you do. That is what we do. In fact, can somebody point to something in this room that wasn't delivered on a truck?
Not yourself. Anything.
Anything.
You were delivered somewhere else.
Anything. You can't.
You can't.
Everything touches a truck. Mm-hmm. Everything's been in a facility. Logistics is very important. Truck drivers are very important. You have to have people working in the warehouse, running the warehouses. So we are very important. If we go on strike, we will shut the economy down. We are the strongest individuals in this whole entire world, if you think about it. We are the strongest. If we went on strike for a month, a day, we would shut everything down. And it's not just truck drivers, logistics too. Warehouses, if the workers stop working, if those managers stop dispatching those loads out and sending them to where they need to go, nothing will happen. So it is very important. It's a good avenue for you guys to continue with. I hope some of you in this class take it up and follow it, because I need you. I need the truck drivers, because I don't want to pay $7, $8 for a roll of toilet tissue because they're struggling to get it to me. It's all going to fall back on us. The cost is going to fall back up on us if we don't pick up this field. And this is a career. Trucking is a career. It's not a job. Do anybody in here know the difference between a career and a job? Come on, participation. There you go.
So y'all be like, you know,
if you want to work part-time or, you know, full-time, you just get like a little money and you want to go get another job. But a career is something that you want to do for like almost your entire life till you retire.
You hit it on point.
Yes.
I couldn't have said it no better than that. No better. That's exactly what it is. And trucking, logistics, those are careers. The young lady I went and spoke to at Restoration Hardware the other day, she used to work, where did she used to work, Bonnie?
Orchard?
Yeah, Orchard. She was there for 20 years. And they closed down, but since she has a career in it, she was able to go over to Restoration Hardware right down the street. She's not a truck driver. She's behind the scenes. She's in the logistics. So it's other things that you can do in this field. This is a very good avenue. I know a lot of you guys in here want to do logistics. I know some of you are going to do drivers. I wish I could see more lady drivers like Bonnie.
Okay, it is hard. I have delivered hay. I have delivered washing machines to Lowe's, diapers to Costco. Okay, so we need to be there on time, but you have to get out and look, or everybody loses. So that's another thing. That's an important thing. Also, just to piggyback off of a job. Like a job is just for money. You know, it's just something you do just to make money, make it work, make ends meet.
And at a job, most of the time, people at a job, you won't know in the future.
So true.
You are not building no network, no connections.
Yeah.
It's different with a career. So, you know, you want to think twice about getting a job. None of us have to graduate high school and go straight into a job. We don't have to, because there's other avenues, just like Mr. Dein and Mr. G is trying to show you guys, that there's other things that you can do instead of going to like a McDonald's or a Burger King to get a part-time or minimum wage job. You can actually leave high school and do better than that, because this logistics and trucking is providing a platform, and plus they're struggling to hire people. So if you got a field that's struggling to hire people, how do you get more people to do that job? What do you think? If you have a job and nobody wants to do it, what would you do to make more people want to do that job?
Better pay.
Better pay, my man, he got it.
High five.
Pay them more money.
Yes.
Pay them more money, and that's what's going to happen in the trucking and the logistics. I feel my license in my pocket, I'm mad I didn't tell the last class, my license is golden. I tell people my Class A license is not plastic. That is gold in my pocket. Because within the next 5 to 6 years, watch what I tell you, truck drivers are going to be making $100,000. All of them. Right now you got places where you can make that, but you're going to have drivers, everybody's going to be making $100,000 plus. Minimum wage is going up to $15. What you think they got to do to trucking? The truck driver's not going to drive a truck, and you got people that's at these Burger Kings and McDonald's making minimum wage. They're going to just say, hey, you trying to pay me $15 an hour to drive a truck, and when you're a truck driver, you're actually, I call it a bobble dog, because you're always looking. Always looking. You can never just fixate straight. So, Bonnie, what would you say a career is? Don't go nowhere.
Okay.
In your opinion.
I would say a career is something where you are building, okay? Basically, what I feel a career is something where you can stay in it and only move up. Only move up the ladder. It is one of those things where you kind of get your foot in the door, you like what you're doing, but there's so much room for growth. You're making the best connections ever. It fuels, right? No pun intended. Right? It fuels your life. It just, you just keep moving up the ladder. Everything you do is going to take you somewhere else. Logistics, all the moving parts. You guys, we need everybody. We need everybody. All the moving parts count. It does not happen with just truck driving.
No.
It is not. Who's going to load my truck?
Who's going to dispatch your truck?
Yeah, who's going to do my preventative maintenance checks?
Correct.
You need everybody. You need everybody. And that's the thing. We are a community. I love the mechanics.
Me too. Those are my
You
best
know, I
friends.
do. And I love the dispatchers. Everybody has a role.
Don't forget marketing.
Oh,
Yes.
Martin, we got you too, Dustin.
Dustin.
Matter of fact, come on up, Dustin.
Yeah,
Come on up.
seriously.
Because we
Come on.
introduced ourselves. We're sorry we're being rude.
Yeah.
This is Dustin here. He's going to
Let's
tell
go.
you guys a little bit about himself.
We
He's
talked
not a
about
truck
it.
driver, but you'll get to see another avenue in the trucking industry. The industry.
I'm Dustin, and I'm the Digital Marketing Associate for KKW Trucking. And I actually found this company from a job post and went into the trucking industry cold. I didn't know anything about trucking. And for the company, I do all their job postings. I work really closely with these guys, recruiting drivers. We do a podcast, like a monthly newsletter. We make videos, training videos, all kinds of stuff. So just to show you can end up at a trucking company never having been a driver and doing something like media. So, you know, for me, like not having really come from trucking, the two things that really surprised me about the industry were just safety in general. How much effort is put into, you know, truck drivers and even the trucks themselves being safe. Like I've gotten to go take, you know, demo Volvos and Kenworths, and they have, I mean, they're beeping and telling you all these things on the sides. And then I didn't know, you know, like all these areas where you can't see anybody if you're a driver.
Blind spots.
Yeah, blind spots. You know, here I am, you know, flying down the freeway, and I'm like, I have no idea. So that was interesting, and then for me as well, I did not know the turnover in trucking, that there was such a driver shortage. I see so many trucks on the freeway, I assume, you know, it's really competitive, all this stuff, and it is, but there's so much opportunity in this industry, which really surprised me as well.
And you know what's cool too? You guys live in Patterson, which is amazing because a lot of times we hire drivers and they're seasonal drivers. You guys are in a place where, let's just say you didn't go off to college, you can come back and you can drive, you know, seasonal. Those, I mean, it's just so much that you can do. It doesn't have to be this way or that way. But I appreciate what you said, Dustin, about the turnover, because the turnover is tremendous. Even I feel the same way. I had no idea. I had no clue.
They actually say it's 94%. That's how high the turnover is in this industry. So, you know,
Yeah.
it's an avenue. It's a place where you can get into it and let your mark be known.
Well, let me ask you guys this. How many of you, like by a show of hands, how many of you have a job?
Nice.
Yeah? Okay. How many of you want a job? Why? Shopping, huh? Yeah, exactly. Get money and do things and things like that. Well, what I found interesting is that 1 in 4 high school students has a job. Okay? And only 1% of them have a full-time job. You guys are graduating high school with a career. That doesn't happen.
Better than a job.
I mean, it's just insane. It's incredible. There are things like 401ks that you watch grow. You watch grow. You just watch your money grow. You are young. You are like on fire because what you are able to do, a lot of people can't do, right? Because you need that skill. You need that education. You need the awesome teachers to help you out. It's a mindset as well. So, you know, just knowing that 1 in 4 students have a part-time job and you leave with a career, that's incredible. I mean, there's a mandatory 10-hour shutdown that you have to do. You can be on your truck studying.
And then also think of the logistics and driving opportunities you have right here in Patterson.
Yeah.
I was amazed when I drove, because Restoration Hardware, that's our customer.
Yeah.
Our trucks are based there. When he drove us around that little section right there, we got Amazon, we got CVS, Kohl's. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. All of these jobs right here.
We need you.
And those managers make really, really good money being in there.
Yeah.
You don't have to just be a truck driver. But we need you. We all go hand in hand. We're like a motor. A motor on the car. If one part of that motor stopped working, that car don't move.
No.
That's the way this industry is. If logistics and truck drivers don't work together, that motor will not keep going. And it'll just fall out the sky. So we need you guys. So whatever avenue you decide to take, either the one we're doing, driving, or you can go into the logistics, we need you on board.
Okay, let's not bore them anymore. Okay, let's play trivia. We're going to ask you guys some questions. Please participate. Okay, you can only win. There's no losers and there's no wrong answers.
And if you were in the last class, don't answer the question if you know the answer to it already.
Yes. All right, so Eddie's going to start off with some questions for you. I have a question, or I have a trivia question.
Go ahead. Right.
Why are celebrities so cool? Because they got so many fans. Yes. Okay, that was lame. That was super lame. That was really good.
Let me do one now.
Okay, go.
I think I can give this.
All right, that's fine.
All right, here go one. How do you get straight A's? Doing your homework. Nope. I mean, yeah, those are right. Those are right.
Wow.
I got another one though too. This is how I think you get straight A's. With the ruler.
You put it down.
The ruler, you draw it, you trace it.
Mine's better.
I was lame too.
They got mine.
We're
At
gonna
least
stop
they
here.
laugh. Even even if it wasn't that
I
funny.
like your vans. I'm a van head.
Yeah.
Let's get serious. So
All
that's
right,
a serious
let's go.
question for you guys. All right, so let's see. Let's see where I'm gonna start at. Give me 1 second. Momentum. All right. So if a truck, and it's true or false, I didn't make it too hard. If a truck is traveling on the highway and it weighs 80,000 pounds, at 55 miles an hour, it will take a football field and a half to come to a complete stop. True or false?
Hands.
True. And raise your hand if you want to answer it.
True.
That's it. All right, you got this one. Well, I'll get you on the next one. So he got it. That is
True.
true.
Yes.
If the truck is traveling on the highway, I didn't know this when I first got my Class C license, and I started driving at 16 years old. If I would have knew a truck took a football field and a half to come to a complete stop, I would have never got in front of the truck and slammed on my brakes. And I was that guy who didn't care about a truck. I just didn't know. I was uneducated. So now that you know, when you start driving, even if you are in a regular car, a four-wheeler, just remember that that truck takes a football field and a half. That's like 450 feet to come to a complete stop. So all of you guys, you can take this with you. I wish they would add this onto the DMV test. It'll be a lot of more people being safe on the road, because a lot of us in here didn't know that. All right, I got another one.
True, false.
True or false? There are truck drivers and logistics workers who make 100,000 plus a year. True or false? Well, it's on him, because he had the last one and they both took it. You're right here. True. True. All right. We got you covered.
All right. Yes.
All right. Don't blurt out the answer. Let me pick the
Yeah,
person
guys.
because it's not fair.
Yeah.
All right. What is the speed limit for trucks with trailers on a highway in California? Let's see.
Black
I
hat.
got you
I saw
already.
his hand.
You black hat? All right,
Yeah.
black hat.
55.
Yes. Somebody's paying
How'd
attention.
you know that? You watch the signs or you like any black?
I heard you next door.
Hey,
Good one. Good
smart
one.
man.
At least he told
I'm
the
not
truth.
mad. Hey, it's fine.
All right.
I get it.
So where we at? We're gonna get one more. All right. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, let's see which one I want to clear you guys. Okay. Commercial drivers. We'll go with commercial drivers. Commercial drivers. This one's here for the commercial drivers. If you take your DMV test in an automatic truck, you will have an automatic restriction on your license. True or false? Let's go bring that. That is true.
That's true.
If you take your DMV test in an automatic, you will only be able to drive an automatic.
Yeah.
We'll give them a prize anyway, just for
All
participation.
right. Perfect.
We'll move on to the next question. Still take care of it. There we go. All right, so I think that'll do it for our trivia right now. We'll come back to trivia.
We'll be back. We'll be back. So, guys, what I really want to talk to you guys about is applying for a job. Okay? We are in charge of the hiring, right? So when the applications come, we see them first. You also want to be professional.
Always.
It is a relaxed career, right?
That's why Bonnie is in recruiting. I think that's why I'm there as well.
Yes.
Because I always presented myself nice. I dress like this on my truck. I didn't want to be the truck driver that wore what everybody else wore. I like getting dressed before I got on the truck. And I said when I got on the truck, I would continue. I had some other shoes in my truck for when I get out and getting in the mud. But when every time I walked in that office, best believe I had on the good ones. And it was like, we like you. You dress like that on your truck. And it was like, come do orientation. And with Bonnie, when I facilitated her orientation, this woman here had notes in colors.
Yes, I
Every note was a
Sticky
different
notes,
color.
different color pens,
I was
everything.
like, wow. And they was
Yeah.
like, we want to get a lady in recruiting. I was like, Bonnie will be a good fit. And Tom was like, right, yeah, Bonnie will be a good fit. And we brought her into orientation.
And
I mean, in recruiting.
and I'm
So
just
just
driving,
be professional.
Be professional. I'm driving along the road, right? I'm going to Salt Lake, and they call me into the office to be a recruiter. Do not job hop, because you don't know the opportunities that that very company has for you. So you might leave for 1 cent, but you don't know the value that people see in you. We are so much more than truck drivers. We have a lot that we can offer. You know, I walk around to the safety department and they want to like send out a flyer, and I edit it for them because I am a journalist, right? Like I can't turn that off. So it's one of those things where, yes, stay there. It'll come. It'll happen.
And not just trucking. Don't get us wrong. Logistics
Yes.
as well is growth within those places. The teacher next door, he actually worked with our manager at Restoration Hardware, which is crazy. That's really amazing. I can't wait to go tell him and we ran into one of the people who used to work with you here at Restoration. So just, these are avenues. This is a career. Logistics and trucking is a career. Just remain professional. And when you're applying for a job, I don't care if it's logistics or trucking, whatever it is, do not down talk your previous employer. Because I'm looking for that. When I get a guy, every job he's been at, he got something bad to say about him, what's going to be different with us when he leave us? So that's the wrong way to attack getting a job. Don't down talk the company. Let's say it wasn't a good fit for you or something like that, but don't say, oh, I didn't like the manager, me and him didn't see eye to eye. You don't want to come like that on your application. And don't say, I left for better pay on every company that you have. When I see at every job this guy worked in the last 10 years, he left because of better pay, it's always going to be better pay out there. It's always. But if it's a place where you feel like you can grow, stay there. Sit back. Remember, these are careers we're chasing, not jobs.
Also, you are a representative of your company, right? So we don't want you getting off like, oh, my paper is here, I'm delivering this load. They will call us, and we know who you are, right? So, or somebody will call and say, oh my God, there was this guy, his name was Eddie Ingram, he was so professional, he was here early. They call you in. We are so fortunate that our CEO walks in every day and is like, hey Bonnie, hey Eddie. I never had that happen to me before, truly, and I was just like, whoa, hey. So that's the kind of thing. You are recognized as you should be recognized when you work hard. You are recognized as you should be recognized when you are professional. You are setting examples for people all the time. You might change somebody's mind about your company, right? And then they'll expand with your company, and then it's because of you, and then what happens? Like, they love you, you know what I mean? So it's so, everything that we do, somebody's watching, and we're representing our company, but we're representing ourselves. Even if you're having a bad day, it's not fair that we judge you off that day. But that's the only day I've ever met you, right? So, but you're on this dedicated run. I'm going to see you every Tuesday. I'm going to be like, oh my God, Eddie's coming today. I'm going to lunch. I don't want to talk to that guy. He's crazy. No. So, and then you come back a few more times, and I'm like, he's really a nice guy. So you just put your best face forward, guys. And, you know, it's just one of those things where this is just life skills, right? Life skills. You just take it out into the world with you.
And then something that Bonnie's saying just made me think. They go to the next level. All of us in here are not meant to be employees. Some of you guys in here are going to be owners. You might own your own logistics company. You might own your own trucking company. So if that's the avenue you want to take, take it. Take it. Just use these as a platform to learn the industry. But I believe that the next logistics big corporation owner is in this room. The next big trucking company person is in this room. You guys can be anything you want to be. So look into this career. It's a very, very good avenue. It's a lot of money to be made. Mr. Firestone started out with 9 trucks, 9 owner-operators. This man now has about 500 employees, which is amazing to me. And I always say it, I am the Mr. Firestone. I will not always be an employee. I will be that independent person. I will own my own company. That's the type of person I am. But I use this as a platform. This is a stepping stone for me. I'm learning so much. So when I do get ready to run my own business, I'll be able to. So don't think that none of you in here have to be employees. You guys, ladies and gentlemen, can also be owners of whatever you have.
Also, the different types of things that you, and I'm so sorry, I apologize that I'm talking about trucking a lot. I know there's logistics and everything else in here, but endorsements, okay? So I can drive tankers, I can drive doubles and triples, I can drive hazmat. I really wanted to do this because I wanted to drive hazardous material for the EPA, for the Environmental Protection Agency. I thought it would be so cool, like put on a white suit and like zip it up and like put the stuff on. No, so go get them. Put on my white, I'm like ready, like the Simpsons, you know, like in the beginning of Simpsons, and like the guy has, you know, all this stuff. I was like, that's gonna be me. And then I found out all the other stuff you can do. You know, it was crazy. Like, you know, anything that could put in a 53-foot trailer, I have pulled it, and I'm sure you have too. And that's the crazy thing. I'm like opening up the trailer doors. I'm like, hay. Wow. Yeah, they put hay in the I'm like, hey, why am I delivering hay? So it's just one of those things. So I'm like, oh, diapers, like, right? Like, so it's just one of those things. It's you never know, right? But yeah, so you can do tankers, you can do hazmat. So just think of all the hazardous materials. It has to be dealt with. Somebody has to deal with it, and they need to know what they're doing because it is dangerous, you know. Also, the doubles and triples, you know. Knock 2 birds out with 1 stone. I'm going to Toys R Us, next door is Kids R Us, this trailer's for them, this trailer's for them, done, right? All of that, all of those things matter.
Rest in peace.
Toys R Us, yeah, rest in peace, yeah.
I'm a Toys R Us kid. I'm pretty sure those guys back there.
Yeah,
too,
they
but
closed the doors.
You all probably don't
Yeah.
care about Toys R Us. Y'all
They're like
Amazon.
Amazon comes tomorrow. No, so that's the thing. So you just don't know. You have to just see. You just have to try. It's just so much recruiting, right? Dispatching, logistics, everything counts. All the moving parts must come together for it to work. So you're never, if you're like me too, I can get bored easily. I'm like, I want to do something else. You know, that's what it's for. So you have to be careful with your Class A license because it's like Eddie said, it's platinum, protected. Protected, because some companies won't.
License period. You know, while you out, when most of you are just going to drive cars, stay away from being on the cell phone and looking down and end up having a rear end accident on your license, because that is one of the worst accidents in trucking. It's actually 3. I'll tell you what they are. It's a rear end accident, a rollover, or a jackknife. Those 3 things they feel are preventable, and it will hurt you in the future. So do not use those cell phones while driving that car. You know, you want to be safe out there. I know we're glued to our cell phones, but you got to care about other people. You know, think about a little baby being in that car that you rear end and you mess that baby up forever. Or a little old lady that you can possibly kill because you rear-ended her. So make sure that you take care of your license and be responsible. So if you do decide to go trucking, you'll be able to be let in.
If you get a speeding ticket and you're driving a personal vehicle, if they see you have a Class A license, it's more. Our tickets will never be the same. Even in a personal vehicle, it's still more money. Like what? You get a $60 speeding ticket because you got a Class C. I got a Class A. It's $2,100 for me. Because I'm a professional driver. If I get in an accident, it's my fault, even if it isn't. Because I'm a professional driver. I've had that training. I've taken those tests. I've gone to all the mandatory things I need to go to. And all of those things are things you should just keep in the back of your mind, because we're not just driving for us, we're driving for everybody else around us. Right? Like, you don't know what these people are on. You have no idea.
And then the logistics people, I don't know how the behind the scenes work, but they're driving too. They're driving forklifts. It's a guy at Costco. This man is bad. He got the stand-up forklift with the real long forks on it, and he is whipping it like, I was amazed. He made me want to be a forklift driver the way I seen him driving. I wish I had him here to show y'all, but he was good. I don't know if they look at your license. They might. So you want to make sure you keep your license good, because you're basically driving and being responsible going through those warehouses as well.
All really good points. So, trucking essentials. Yes. What everybody should keep on their truck. Please, 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 because the weather will change. You can deliver a load in Arizona, and now they're sending you to Salt Lake, and it's just so much snow. So you have these shorts on, and you are freezing. Just have a change of clothes with you, because it happens. It's so real. Also, water and food. You never know. You might have to shut down or something like that. You want to make sure that you're prepared. Exactly.
You might want to have food that you can eat, especially any drivers in here that plan on going interstate driving. You want to make sure that you have things that you can eat that won't go bad, that you can just store in your truck. So if you get caught in a snowstorm, you'll be ready. You want to have the right clothes, like Bonnie said, because my first time chaining up a truck, it took me 3 hours. It took me 3 hours to chain up because I didn't have the right gloves. So I'm watching trucks pull up, chain up, take off. Pull up, chain up, take off. I was getting out the truck, chaining 1 tire at a time, getting back in the truck so I can get some heat. But that's what made me create a video. I created a really, really good video that's on YouTube about chaining up. If you type KKW trucking, and you can just put chains, KKW chains, you'll see a video. It's a really, really good video. I get a lot of people telling me how much they like the video. So just make sure you're ready for the weather.
Took you 3 hours. It took me 3 minutes because of his video.
Yeah,
I was in Reno. I was going down Donner. I was going down this big fat hill, and I'm like, ugh, whatever. So then I knew I had to take this route the day before. So I was like, I'm gonna watch Eddie's video. So it's literally 3 a.m. and I'm just like poking around the truck stop. I got out and I changed at the truck stop so I can be ready, because my load needs to be there on time. So I just prepared myself. Best thing I've ever done. That video was great. In fact, you guys all should watch it. Even if you never drive, it's a fantastic video. It really is a very great video. Flashlights. I've been under 1 million trailers. You need your flashlight. It might feel connected, it might sound connected, it might look connected, but you need to get out and look, and you need to make sure. Because anytime you pick up that load, you're attached to that frame. And if it's Restoration Hardware down the street, it's $1 million. Look at that. Exactly. It's $1 million table in there. You know, things like that. So, you know, you just want to, you know, be careful and have that
That was
with you.
amazing too, that Restoration Hardware.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever been inside of a big
Distribution
warehouse
center?
distribution center? It is amazing.
It's insane.
Like, this
Yeah.
place is huge. They have 400 doors. So imagine how many employees they have. They have 400 doors, receiving, incoming, and outgoing. So,
Phone chargers.
yes.
I love audiobooks. And before you know, I'm rolling along and I'm like, oh my God, my phone's about to die. So it's one of those things. You just want to make sure you have that. Your dispatcher is your best friend. These guys are great. So you want to make sure that you can always communicate with people because you never know when you might have to. Okay, but this is one. Let's do some more trivia.
Yeah, let's get
A shirt.
where's the
Let's do a
shirts?
shirt.
All right, so I'll do another trivia question. This time we're going to give a shirt out. I wish I would have prepared for more logistics questions, but the questions I'm kind of leading you towards the answer. So please raise your hand before blurting out the answer. This here, I'm pretty sure everybody in here has seen the movie Transformers. I don't know how far back you go with Transformers, but I'm going to ask a question from Transformers. What truck model was the original Optimus Prime in the Transformers? And I got some options before you answer. Number one, was it a Freightliner? Was it a Volvo? Was it a Kenworth? Or was it a Peterbilt? Did you see who went up first? All right, go. Nope, Volvo is a pretty new truck. They're really new to the market. Number two? Freightliner, you got it. Did you know that? Seriously? You guessed
That was a good guess.
Well, now
Educated
you know.
guess. Yeah.
Now you know that's a KKW shirt.
So you know what though, guys? Honestly, like we want to kind of close it out by giving you the opportunity to ask questions. You can ask us anything you want to ask us. My first question was, where do I shower? Weird. But you know, ask us any kind of questions you want to ask us, personal, you know, in terms of something or non-personal, whatever. So I just want to open it up. So anybody have any questions?
Do you guys provide training?
Good question. Well, out of Southern California. So it's a program that we have and we do sometimes. Like let's just say, you know, you're with a company and it wasn't a verifiable experience, right? Like you were driving for your uncle and he's an owner-operator. So we know you can do it. We'll just give you a little bit of training. Probably all they need is training on the e-log, the electronic log system. So you know what you're doing, but not really. We do actually need them to have at least 3 months experience because you're solo, you're out there by yourself, and we don't want to set anybody up for failure.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. We didn't come here to hire any drivers. Sorry. But anybody in this class that continues with Class A driving and you get a Class A license and you 21, we only can hire you at 21 as of now. But if you want to, as soon as you get 18, you can call and give us your name and number. And if we get some freight that only hauls in California, I will go upstairs to Mr. Firestone and I will fight to get you guys on board. So the answer to that question is, for you guys in this class that go trucking at 18, if we get this intrastate freight, we will train. And remember, I got it on video too. So, Mr. Firestone,
I want to copy
we
that.
got to help
Alright,
Patterson High
good.
School.
There's witnesses.
So hold me to it. I got witnesses in here. If we start getting some intrastate freight, because they already talked about it. They spoke about it. They would love to. So you guys have the website. We're going to pass out some gifts. You'll have the company name on there. If you do decide to go trucking, I will get you in for training.
Did you have a question?
Yeah. You got any advice to get your CDL? Like, what's your advice to get your CDL?
To get your CDL, to pass it?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh yeah, she's good at that part.
studying it. There's actually some really awesome apps. too.
Break it into pieces.
Yeah, yeah. So I think the hardest part for most people is that pre-trip, right, and that post-trip, all those moving parts. What I did when I learned was I literally broke it into pieces, axle by axle, front, middle, end. So I was like, okay, let me just open up this engine, point to this thing. I drew pictures and was like, it has liquid in it. I'll figure out what it does later. So then you just kind of like learn what it is, and you just kind of like figure it out, and then you're like, oh, that's kind of important. Okay, so just don't overwhelm yourself by thinking you need to consume all this information at once. Then I moved, you know, to the rear axles, and I was like, oh, okay, what's in there? Oh, the Bud rim system. Oh, I guess stuff can get stuck in there, you know. And so it's just whatever, and take pictures. I did it with pictures. I couldn't do it like off my mental memory, so I just took pictures and went home and studied those pictures. The hub seals, you know, those are all things that you kind of forget about, but you want to make sure, what is it? What is it for? What does it do? This thing thing leaks, why? I don't know, but I know it does, and they might ask me that, right? So it's just one of those things. I just took it piece by piece by piece, and then so that way you don't like overwhelm yourself, and just relax. That's the only thing you can do. Like it's just
I kind of
relax.
did the same thing. I broke it up. So make sure you know one part first. Don't just try to walk around. That's the main part, the pre-trip. I'm pretty sure the written test, you guys are ace, you'll get that.
Yeah.
It's that pre-trip because there's so many questions they ask us about that truck and trailer. And then you got to do that air brake test. It's just a lot you have to remember. So you have to break it down into pieces so you'll be able to explain it back to them. So just if you need to take pictures, if you need to draw pictures, however you can do it, learn a section at a time. Don't try to learn it all at once.
And figure out what it does. That'll help you. Because one of the questions was like, it was random. It was like, should there be space between the fifth wheel and the bottom of the trailer? And I'm like, no, that's terrifying, right? So it's just like, if you learn what it does, what it's for, like the kingpin, like, oh, I guess that could connect to that. Okay, I can see that. It'll make it a lot easier. It'll be more fluid for you. Yeah, just to kind of like figure out what it does. Good question. Your teacher here, it was so cool because it was actually at a California trade truck show. And it was crazy because we were like a company, right? And a lot of those people were owner-operators. And they're asking me questions and I'm educating them and I'm terrified. I'm like, oh my God, these people are out here and they're not like DOT compliant. Oh my God.
It was a couple.
Yeah. Yeah, I coached them a little bit. But it's one of those things where, you know, they're like, why? Why don't you hire? And then I'm just kind of like a bookworm a little bit. So I'm just like, oh, because in June of this year, the California State Legislature, it made it all the way to the Supreme Court, said, like, we can't hire you guys. Because if we hire you guys, you need to have your own authority. Your name needs to be on your tractor and your trailer. Well, we're dropping hook. We're live load and unload. It's going to be a KKW trailer. So we can't bring you on board. They're freaking out. People go out there and buy these new trucks and they're like, nobody's going to hire me. Right? So it's just one of those things you want to do a lot of research on.
What starts in California, most of the other states adopt it.
Yes.
It always starts here in California, and the other states just pick it up and follow California. California kind of leads the way with laws. So be careful going owner-operator. I'm not saying don't do it, but just do your research and know what you're getting into.
And you guys, you'll be like new drivers. You'll be grinding gears and ruining stuff.
Yeah,
like,
tear up the company equipment first before you go get your
I don't say that, but be careful, guys. I don't know about Eddie over there. I get out and look.
When you
Okay,
I'm talking about grinding gears.
I'm looking at. I'm good.
Nah, you don't hurt the gears.
Either way, you know, just know that you're not. It's a lot to take in, right? Fuel is expensive. If you're an owner-operator, you're paying for that. You know, preventative maintenance, you're paying for that. Any sort of stickers that you need, you're paying for that. Different states have different laws and you need permits. You're paying for that. But when you work for a company, somebody is taking care of that for you. They're even calling you to say, it's been 90 days. You need to come in and do a preventative maintenance check. Or, we got new stickers in, it's the new year, things like that. Because if you had to do all the moving parts by yourself, you probably would hate trucking because it's a lot that goes into it. Why do they have all these people in this place doing this? Because it does take a lot of people to make it happen. That was my conclusion.
All right, so let's run some trivia really quick because I know it's almost that time.
55, right? 55? 10 minutes? Okay.
So we're going to ask another question and we'll go, I'm going to do another trivia question for the truck. Was it for the truck? No, we did the raffle for the truck.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and pull the name.
So have one.
Let Mr. G do it.
I'm just going to pass out.
No looking.
How much money you got?
No favorites.
Jorge's not here, but Jorge, George.
George? Okay.
Who's yours? Raise your hand.
He's the gentleman that took off.
Okay. We'll let you give it to him.
All right.
Yeah.
If you don't pick it up, I'll just keep it, bro.
No way we're going to call him and check.
Oh, these guys keep you in check, trust me.
But everybody's a winner in here. Don't worry. Everybody gets something. Nobody leaves without nothing.
I have a question for you guys.
You guys will be able to use.
You're welcome. I have a question. So, what is your biggest fear, guys? What are you afraid of? Tell me. What do you think is scary?
Mr. G.
Alright. You're welcome. Anything? Nobody's afraid of bad weather? Crashing? No? There you go.
Anybody has some logistics goals or company you would like to work for, company you like? Forklift you'd like to drive, anything?
Come on, guys, don't be shy.
J.B. Hunt? Okay, why J.B. Hunt? You see him a lot? Okay. Nice, nice. You already got it now. There you go. Stick to it, follow it. Don't company hop. Make sure that you're going to do it and get into it. Stick with it and keep your license clean. Don't violate your license.
I remember.
Any other questions or anything?
I got a question. When you're doing your hiring process, what information do you request from the individuals that are applying for jobs?
Well, we need to know at
Resumes,
least.
cover letters, references?
We don't really need cover letters. What we do is we send, most companies are using this feature, and a lot of companies, not just trucking, are using this feature, our application website that's called Intella. It's Intella application. So what happens is you log in, you give it your information, they're asking for your address for the last, do they ask 10 years? How much?
10 years, so
10
yeah.
years for your home, where you live? Not just your work history.
Oh, no. So basically, I would say what they need is just your last 10 years of
A work
work.
history.
It's
That's very
incredible. It's not even like what people think with the cover letter and the resume and all of those things. We don't even ask them to upload it. We just have to have them manually put it in. It mostly, I mean, you can need everything they did in the last 10 years, even if it wasn't trucking. But yeah, the application just consists of work history.
So not really, this will require a
No, and fully complete the application. Don't do the application. So you want to make sure you go throughout the application, make sure everything is correct. No matter what application you're filling out, don't leave any blanks, because that's a slim chance you might not get the job because the next person is filling out everything. So I'm pretty sure it's a lot of logistics companies using this platform as well. What happened was, now these applications are digital. Everything is going digital. So why do you got to keep having paper and cover letters and all of this stuff? So now they're allowing you guys, most companies on their website, they just have a link. You click the link, it takes you straight to the Intella, which we get it through a program called 10th Street. We get it on our end and we're able to see everything on that person.
How about references?
References, it does ask for it. It does have a slot where you can put your references. If you were referred over by somebody, you have the opportunity to list that as well.
Is there anything that you guys are most excited about in this industry? Money? What about like just seeing the United States? Anybody? Places maybe that you want to see, stuff that you want to see? Yeah, it's really cool.
Do we have any business owners in here? You plan on owning businesses? You, yourself? All right. Yeah, I'll see you out there. I might come work for you one day.
Yes.
What's your favorite place that you've been to?
Oregon. I just think it's really pretty. I just think it's so pretty. It's just one of those things, and I was kind of telling, I know some of you guys I saw in the last class, but it was just like, I'm from Chicago, I'm from the Midwest, and I'm driving up this mountain behind this ugly old log truck, and I can't see what's in front of me. And then finally he turns off, and I'm like, wow. It was one of those things where I'm like, wow, I know there's a God, because a man did not make this. It was so beautiful, you guys. Pictures couldn't do it justice. And it was just a breath of fresh air. I felt like if most people could see this, they would think totally different about so many things. It's just the natural beauty. And I was like, I had never been to Oregon or anything like that. But that was one of my favorites. Yeah. Thank you, Dustin. Good question.
Just to wrap it up, appreciate you guys for being here, having us here. Again, we didn't come here with no motive. The only reason we came here is just to motivate you all to follow your dreams and be whatever you want to be. Don't allow anybody to teach you how to tell you how to think and what to be. Follow your heart, and whatever you feel in your heart, whatever you want to be, the sky is the limit. Nobody can stop you except for self. Self is the only person that can stop you from being who you want to be. So hopefully I see some of you guys in the future owning some of these big corporations or even running some of these big corporations.
And you're never just a person in logistics. You're never just a truck driver. You have so much more to offer than that. And people will see that in you. And they will call you in and they will give you opportunities. It happened to me. So I'm not just saying this. It happened to me. It happened to him. It happens to a lot of different people. We need you guys. You guys are a whole other generation on a whole other level, on a technology level that we can't even fathom. And riding up here from Southern California, we're like, oh my God, these trucks are going to be like automated trucks one day. Like, everything is technology driven. So it's just one of those things where you have that advantage. It's even really tough for me me sometimes trying to get people hired because I'm talking to old school truck drivers, and I'm like, it's not like that anymore, you know? So it's one of those things where it's a changing industry, so you have to change with it.
Yes, sir.
Are you gonna get a Tesla truck?
Hopefully,
Oh.
maybe in the future.
I'll drive it if you do.
Yeah, maybe, you know what, now these trucks that we have, our new trucks, are now hitting the brakes themselves.
Yeah.
If you don't brake before you get close to this car in front of you, the
It
truck
just,
is,
like,
it'll
slows
start
down.
off to apply brakes itself.
Yeah.
It has a sensor on the front of it and a camera. So they're talking to each other. So if the sensor can't recognize what's in front of it, the camera checks it out. And then it relays it to the sensor. So if a tumbleweed rolls out in front of your truck, it won't stop the truck because the camera's seen it and told the sensor, hey, that's a tumbleweed. Don't stop. So these trucks are really, really amazing. And you know, I do think these autonomous vehicles will be here one day, but they're still going to need a driver. There's still room for you. When you know these trucks like the back of your hand, you might went from being a truck driver to being a manager of an autonomous fleet. Because you know the way logistics work, you know the way trucking work. So this is really a career.
Yeah, and a pre-trip and a post-trip is real, okay? And if it's an autonomous truck, it doesn't know, okay? Sometimes you just need a
She's
person there.
against the autonomous trucks.
I hate it.
I think they're
it's
coming.
ridiculous. I don't want it.
But
No.
I think they're coming, Bonnie. They're far, a
whatever.
long ways away.
I just know driving a truck is very dangerous, and I don't want anything like that driving itself. So, I mean, I know it's coming, you guys are right, but it's just one of those things where safety is first. And I know we had a young man in the last class that asked about benefits and stuff like that. And so I was like, yeah, you gotta wait 60 days to get your dental medical vision. You gotta wait 90 days to get 401k, but from day one, because the owner was a race car driver, he is so big on safety that he gives you a $40,000 life insurance policy when you leave that yard in that truck. If anything happens to you, your family has that money to care for you. That is the company you want to work for. You are not a truck number. You are a human being. People care about you. People are checking on you. Those are the kinds of things. Don't let the money entice you too much. I was offered $20,000 sign-on bonus. I was going to get up in a 10-year span, like $1 a day or something like that. So, you know, just kind of, be a little bit careful when you do it. But honestly, you can do so much with it. So, thanks, guys.
You want to share about the truck coming out?
Oh, yeah. We have a truck
Oh,
coming.
yeah, we have a truck. It'll be out here from 11 to 1. So it'll be here for both lunch. So come out and see the truck. I believe it's one of our newer trucks that has the braking system on it. So come out and check it out. We have one of our drivers. You can ask him any question you want as well. And we do appreciate everybody for coming.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
The logistics is amazing. Do some research on it. There's a lot of new things. Mr. Don, have you seen these facilities where the truck turns and then you back into the stall?
No.
So the facility is so small, you pull the truck in there, the ground turns, and then you just back the
Straight line
truck
back.
into the stall.
It's crazy.